Ethiopia is an ancient country that is located in the Horn of Africa. It is composed of more than 18 nations, nationalities, and peoples. Among these is the Oromo nation. The Oromo nation was organized into two moieties known as Borana and Barentuma. All Oromo subgroups can and do trace their genealogies to these confederations. The Oromo nation belongs to the Cushitic linguistic stock. Since 1991, the Oromia regional state has been established within the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia. Oromia is the largest as well as the most populous of all the regional states of the country. Afan Oromo is also one of the major foreign languages in the African continent. Finfinne is the capital of the Oromia regional state, as well as that of the federal government of Ethiopia. In Oromia, agriculture is the dominant sector of the economy. Most of the Tulama and Mecha Oromo are farmers, whereas Borana, Gabra, and Karayu are pastoralists, and Guji, Arsi, and Itu Oromo are agro-pastoralists. Oromia is also well known for its high-quality coffee production. It is also the birthplace of coffee Arabica. Oromia is rich in forest, water, and mineral resources, among others. The Oromo have their own rich cultural and historical heritages that deserve to be well protected and preserved. Among these is the Gada system. The Gada system is an indigenous, democratic, socio-economic, political, and ritual system of the Oromo nation. The Gada system is a way of governance which guides the overall aspects of the social, political, economic, and religious lives of the Oromo people. It has been practiced for centuries and is still in practice among the Oromo. Still in practice among the Oromo. Under the Gada system, Oromo nation is organized into 5 Gadas or political parties which rotate every 8 years to assume political, economic, and social responsibilities.
You have 8 years term and a cycle of 5.
Generation descent is the organizing principle in the Gada system, not age. In a generation set system, as is the Gada, recruitment into the system is based not on biological age, as in the case of age grade system, but on the maintenance of socially defined generations between parents and children. For instance, sons join one of the 5 Gadas 40 years after their fathers. Parents and children are 5 grades apart from each other. That is, a 5-fold 8 years period. Gada divides the stages of life of individuals from childhood to old ages into a series of formal stages. Transition ceremonies mark the passage from one stage to the next. The ideal length of time in one rank is 8 years. The Oromo youngsters learn Oromo history, politics, ritual, law, and administration throughout these grades that help them acquire knowledge, skills, and spirits to lead their people in the future. When they enter the Gada class or Luba at the age of about 40 years, they have already acquired all the necessary knowledge to handle the responsibility of administering the country. As soon as the child is born, he is recruited into the appropriate party, which is 40 years behind his father, and joins the first grade named Dabbale. The Dabbale are sons of the Gada class who are in power as leaders of the Oromo. The Dabbale grow their hair long and decorated with cowrie shells. This hairstyle is known as guduru. At this stage, they perform light work and are confined around their parents' huts. The mothers of the Dabbale are greatly honored. Their blessings are sought by women. Dabbale Ali, may you give birth to Dabbale, and enjoys a variety of privileges among the society. This doesn't mean they ignore sterile women, for they say it is from Waka, God. Upon reaching their 8th year, the Dabale child undergoes a naming ceremony and enters the 2nd grade known as Junior Game or Game Titiko. The latter get their hair shaved in circular shape at the top middle part of their head and allow the rest to grow long. The Game are expected to look after calves in the immediate neighborhood of the village. In the system, everyone has a role appropriate to his or her age. At the age of 17, the junior Game joins the 3rd grade called the senior Game or Game Gurgudo, which opens without any formal ceremony. They mark their passage into the grade with a slight change in hairstyle. That is, the shaven part of their hair would be smaller than in the previous grade. The senior Game learn herding cattle and may now go long distances and take their family herds to river valleys in search of good pasture, which they call it fora. During the last 3 years of senior Game, they go from camp to camp singing, feasting and collecting members of their class. This ceremony is called Walargi, to see each other, and Ngachisa, meaning feast. The spears that are held during the celebration are used to decorate the traditional singing and dancing and to demonstrate their cultural heritage and not to harm others.
Muke, barbe, yo dawe gobo, sirbine dawe yote, uhu.
In the transition rite from the 3rd to the 4th grade, Game to Kusa, the boys sing songs of Gada passage known as Moke. In the 4th grade, the members of the Gada class come together and nominate the future group leader. The individuals will be elected on the basis of wisdom, bravery, health, and physical fitness. 6 members of the Kusa stratum are recruited and conditions are facilitated for them to acquire leadership knowledge and skills, though they do not yet assume full authority except in their own group. At the Kusa Raba transition, that is, at the beginning of the 5th grade Rabadori, boys who are old enough are expected to marry. The marriage ceremony constitutes a rite of passage for most of the members of the class. Executives of the 5 Gada classes assume power successively when they reach the 6th grade called Gada or Luba. Leadership is equally divided among the 5 Gada classes and the successive generations of each Gada class. Within the moieties, offices are distributed evenly among the clans. In the Gada system, the class holds power for 8 years in rotation. The outgoing Gada class clearly knows which Gada class is the rightful to take the next term of office.
Gogesa line is line of the Abagadas because in Oromo there are 5 Abagadas that are simultaneously there because each Goges has its own rule. So the Gada in power will never interfere with the affairs of the other Gada unless requested. It's a self-rule 5, you can call these 5.
The transfer of power from one class to another occurs at scheduled time and involves exchange of yogurt and blessings between the incoming and outgoing leaders of the classes. On this occasion, bunakala, or coffee roasted with butter, is served. In this power takeover ceremony, referred as Bali Walirra Fudu, the outgoing Gada ruling class hands over ostrich feather, a symbol of authority, to the incoming. The outgoing class lives with honor and blessing, and the new Gada takes over with blessings and good wishes. The transfer of power is often characterized by a smooth transition. It is only through peaceful means that one takes power in the Gada system. Even an exchange of unhealthy language is forbidden. Today, Gada works in parallel with the local, regional, and central governments. The cultural site for power transfer of Guji Oromo is at Me'eboko. The Borana and Gabra Oromo hand over power in Arero district at Gumigayo, while that of the Itu is at Odabultum, where offices and a hall, Galma, has been built as center of administration for the Gada officials recently. The leaders of Gada class in power is known as Abba Gada, father of the class or ruling period, or Abba Boku, father of scepter. Promotion to this office is effected through election. When the Abba Gada and his cabinets come to office, they swear to honestly serve the people for 1 Gada or 80 years. The Abba Gada on power should be a respected man who commits no crime, should be healthy, married, respect rules of the Gada system, a man with leadership quality and knowledgeable. Abba Gada ties kalecha on his forehead, which is a symbol of power, reconciliation, and sovereignty. He also takes boku, scepter, another symbol of power that the Oromo believe it is from Waka or Gad. The elected officials of the party live in one village. The village forms the political center and called Kacha among the Guji Oromo and Ya Agabela among the Karayu Oromo. It is from this center that directions and orders radiate to other parts of the nation. They also administer day-to-day life and mediate disputes and take part in many of the rituals of the people. The Gada system is still intact and a living institution among Oromo groups like the Borana, Guji, Gabra, Tulama, Macha, Itu, Umbana, and Karayu. Abba Gadas of various major clans from all over Oromia have recently established their own council at Bishoftu town in September 2015 to share experiences, promote the Gada system and the culture and language of the Oromo people, to realize good governance and ensure peace and stability in Oromia. Within the Oromo Gada system, Naga, peace, is central next to Waka, God. This view is expressed in the songs they sing, in the prayers and blessings they offer. In the ritual and ceremonial activities they undertake, in the speeches and narrations they deliver, in the administrative and legal actions they perform, and in their proverbs, folktales, and stories they recite.
Rabi keni naga gadante ni naga forgo se naga gosborana sabogo naga ida than ke ni chufi naga fulan nubul chufi naga fulor nubani chufi naga lafti laf naga yat waga naga nugut madalolazi badabirizi ba hayogam waga nu hayom zinaga nugut yorsi nubul.
The Oromo Gada system aims at sustaining peace through its extensive conflict resolution mechanisms such as Jarsumma, Council of Elders, and Guma, Compensation Institution, that focus on mediation. Of course, Guma is an institution by itself. The Gada system holds the people in harmony within themselves and among other nations and nationalities and peoples of the country. The Gada system values teach the Oromo not to be violent toward one another, but instead cultivate a sense of caring, sharing, and valuing one another. Internal peace and stability among the Oromo, as well as with others, has been a hallmark of the Gada system. It has institutional mechanisms such as Gudifacha, adoption, and Mogasa, naturalization to integrate the non-Oromo into the system. Those who have been integrated are guaranteed equal rights regardless of their ethnic and religious background. In addition, the practitioners of the Gada system ensure that the differences and disagreements which arise among the Oromo people as well as with others, particularly neighboring peoples, are resolved pursuant to the negotiating rules Ilaf Ilame. The Gada system has a legislative body, often called Gumi or Chafe, National Assembly or Assembly of the Multitude. The National Assembly comprises many councillors, members drawn from different sections of the Gada institution, as well as ordinary citizens who have interest to go to the place of multitude and communicate their ideas. Among the Oromo, all the people have the right to air their views in any public gathering without fear. Once every 8 years, these assemblies convened. These assemblies are the higher political bodies that stand above all other institutions. In the Oromo democratic tradition, the highest authority resides in the Open National Assembly, at which all Gada councils and assemblies, active and retired, are represented. Even people outside Oromo would be welcomed to participate at Gumi or Chafe. The Raba Gada leaders and the assembly of semi-retired Gada classes or councillors dominate the discussions. The assemblies sit as law-making body, revise the existing law, and proclaim new laws and arbitrate cases of conflict that cannot be resolved at lower level. The Gada system is always open to amendment.
No one is allowed to marry from his or her clan. It is law. It is forbidden to marry relatives. It is law. Destruction of natural resources is forbidden. It is law. Liberty and equality of mankind must be respected. It is law. Girls should be sent to school. It is law.
Those rules and customs deemed unfit in light of the social, political, economic, and spiritual realities of the people are amended and new laws are issued and promulgated. The system is self-adjusting and upgrading or recreating itself within social changes. The law made by the General Assembly is the supreme law.
Waan ardaa gooroo dubbat, waan diqqaa dubbat, waan guddaa dubbat, waan ilma gammee dubbat.
Sun akkasii wanni har'a harmaa qabnu waan eegaasaa malee dubbii dhibii aduun ta'ini wanni har'a qabnu guyyaa gosaa kennani guyyaa ammoo fiixeelleen akkanatti waliin ta'ettu wal gaafan sullee akkaataa namitti dhufa laalleetini akkasii walii kennani.
No one is above the law in the Gada system, even the Abba Gada, who is head of the Gada executive branch. If he deviates from the spirit of the law or violating laws or regulations, the action is known as Sera Chapsa, an act of breaking the law, and he is accused and may be impeached, tried, and uprooted, or bukisu during his official tenure and replaced by one of the members of his class. For the Oromo, the law is the strongest tool for the maintenance and promotion of peaceful life. Laws are made in the general interest and with the consent of the society. Deep discussions in the law-making process have helped the Oromo people set quality laws that served them for centuries. Most of the Oromo Gada assemblies, meetings or gatherings used to be convened in the open air in a meadow under the shade of tree known as Oda, a sycamore tree. The Oda tree is emblem and sacred tree for the Oromo. It is considered as king of trees. The Oromo have 5 main Odas they respect. Oda Nabe for Central Oromia, Oda Bultum for Eastern Oromia, Oda Bisil for Western Oromia, and Oda Roba and Oda Madolabu Imbale for Southern Oromia. Oda is preferred to other tree species for political and religious center because of its grace and shade and its evergreen nature. It is also a tree of different miracles. Oromo elders witnessed that lightning never strikes Oda. In Borana, the Legislative Assembly meets under acacia tree near the well of Gayo and called Gumi Gayo, literally the assembly at Gayo, named after a famous well in the area.
After Gadayo, in the 14th century till this 21st century, Borana kept its culture as it is.
Every 8 years, laws are proclaimed at assemblies because Gada is always open to amendment with all the changes over the previous Gadas. Members of the Gada on power do have executive power under different areas with responsibilities, like Abba Sa'a, Finance Minister, Abba Dula, Defense Minister, Abba Dubbi, House Speaker. The judiciary organ is led by Abba Sera, or Minister of Justice. Gada has also great contribution to environmental conservation and to sustainable development for making laws that are favorable for preservation of natural resources. Cutting trees is possible only based on the law that is deliberated at assemblies. Those who cut forest illegally will be punished. In the Gada system, there is a saying, "Mukafi daa'ima ol guddatu hin tuqin." Don't touch children who are growing up and forests that they have a lot of benefits. In the Gada system, Oromo women have a Sinke institution that function hand in hand with other institutions in the system as one of the rebuilt mechanisms of check and balance. Sinke is a thin, long stick given to women at their marriage ceremony as a sign of the beginning of married life. This stick represents authority of women. The Sinke institution enables Oromo women to have control over resources, social status and respect, and sisterhood solidarity by deterring men from infringing upon their individual and collective rights. Married women have the right to organize and form a Sinke sisterhood commonality.
Dubartoonni qooda gadaa keessatti qaban ulfaataadha. Durumaayyuu tumameefii jira sirni gadaadha dubartoota Sinqeedhaan tumamee jira. Sinqeen tumamee jira. Sinqeeni dubartii jechuun yoo Sinqee qabattee mana haadhaa fi abbaa ofiitiif gadi baate gaafa san haadhaa fi abbaan xunxoo fi waddeessaa waliin Sinqee kana qabdee.
Women do have greater role in the Gada system. Rights of women have properly been proclaimed and ratified. They have been endorsed under their own Sinke institution. A girl once got married holds Sinke, the symbol of respect. Sinke is equivalent to scepter of men. If someone hurts a woman, she takes her Sinke and calls her neighbors by ululation. Then she goes to Gada head women joined by other women. The women immediately head to Malka River Ford where Abba Gada and other elders join the women to examine the matter. There the accused is ordered to slaughter a bullock for the gathered people. It is after they start discussing the matter.
For instance, if someone abuses a woman, the victim carries her Sinke and asks the women in her village to join her with their own Sinke to share her grievance and defend her right. So, when there is violations of their rights at homes, women leave their homes, children and resources and travel to a place where there is a big tree and assemble there until their problems are resolved through negotiations by elder men and women. The Sinke institution is a mechanism through which the right of Oromo women is respected. Sinke promotes gender equality and protects women and girls from discrimination and violence. The Gada system also allows women to play a decisive role in conflict resolution and restoring peace. Women participate in the lawmaking assembly, and Gada power transfer ceremonies could not take place without their participation. Sinke is a vehicle for addressing gender inequality and advancing the empowerment of women. Wife of the Abba Gada is also Hada Gada, mother of the Gada for 8 years. Like the Abba Gada or Abba Boku, Hada Gada also transfers power to the incoming Hada Gada. Within the Gada system, there is a Thanksgiving ceremony known as Irreecha. Irreecha is a Thanksgiving religious ceremony conducted either at riverside, lakeside, or on top of mountains. The Irreecha ceremony is held nationally in September every year at Hora Harsadi in Bishoftu town. In this festival, millions of attendants and participants from all over Oromia, led by Abba Gadas, hold wet grass, chokorsa, and ada or hada daisies and march to the lakeside of Hora Harsadi. When they arrive at the lakeside or Malka, they put the wet grass and daisies to extend their prayers and thanksgiving to Waka or Oromo Supreme God for his life-giving rains, health, and human fertility, and for helping them pass over to the bright autumn season from the dark rainy summer. For the Oromo, Waka is omnipresent and omniscient. On this occasion, women hold sinke. Those who have Gada power in the sinke institution also carry chachu, a religious object made of skin of cow that is decorated with cowrie shell. On their way to Lake Arsadi, they sing saying Mareo. Mareo refers to the cycle of time, days, months, seasons, years, and gadas. They thank Waka for the proper flow of the natural cycle. The Irreecha festival is also attended by government officials, members of the diplomatic corps, and tourists from all over the world. Millions of attendants and participants from all over Oromia also express their joys in various ways during this festival. The Irreecha festival is conducted annually at Hora Harsadi in Bishoftu town and in other parts of Oromia. It is an open-air festival which encourages participation by all, regardless of age, sex, social status, ethnicity, or any other factors of exclusion. All Christians, Muslims, and Waqifata Oromos and members of other ethnic groups participate in it and express their best wishes to one another. This promotes social unity, integration, and diversity.
My name is Joachim Persoon. I'm from the Netherlands. Irreecha Bal is very important because it encourages people to rediscover their ethnic identity in a positive way. And it's very friendly, and it's very there's positive interaction between different people and so on.
My name is Enda Nevin. I'm from Ireland. Amazing, incredibly friendly, like really friendly. Non-threatening, no problems, no trouble, nothing at all. It's been really good. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Gabi. I'm from Germany. So it was so nice. Like they were welcoming me, introducing me to their culture, showing me the flowers and taking pictures with me and explaining the different kind of colors for the Oromic flag to me. So far it's really nice.
Social scientists of diverse backgrounds at different times have studied the Gada system. Many of them have testified that it is uniquely democratic. Among those authorities, Plowden in 1868 stated among Republican systems, Gada is superior. Professor Sifen-Oromo, an anthropologist, in 1973 described the Gada system as one of the most astonishing and instructive turns the evolution of human society has taken. The Gada system is also one of those remarkable creations of the human mind that evolved into a fully fledged system of government. It contains genuinely African solutions for some of the problems that democracies everywhere have had to face. Professor Sifen-Oromo also stated the Gada system as an indigenous African democracy. The 19th century British diplomat Plowden observed that of all the republican systems, the Gada system is the most advanced. American sociologist, social theorist, historian, educator, and writer Donald N. Levin stated that Gada is one of the most complex systems of social organization ever devised by the human imagination. Professor of Geography and Anthropology George F. Carter suggested that Gada is an extraordinary system of government. Marguerite Parham in 1969, Marshall de Salviac 1901, Harold G. Marcus in 1994, Paul Baxter in 1965, Antoine de Abadi in 1880, among others, have also written about the Gada system and the Oromo people.